Inter's unbeaten record surely is going tonight. Roma have looked the part as Serie A leaders in style and on course now, thanks to you-know-who, to make it 7 straight wins. 2 for Totti, second from the spot. That was no surprise that he slotted past Handanovic, and perhaps the best strike of the lot for the third goal. What are Inter going to do about it? Well, it looks like Icardi's coming out for the second half, Sheridan. Is that the only change that Mazzari should be making at this stage, in your view?
Well, he needs goals, stating the obvious, and Icardi scored a lot of goals last year in Serie A. It'd be interesting to see who he sacrifices. I mean, as Rafa just suggested during the break, they might go to a back four and take off Rolando.
Thank you. Back we go to Stuart Robson and Peter Drury.
And Paul, you're half right, you and the chaps there. They have, I think, gone to a back four. It's not Rolando, though, who's been removed, but Alvaro Pereira. So it looks as though
they're going to go with the back three still, but Alvarez is going to play it on the left-hand side and play as a left wing-back. So that's the change in Icardi. Icardi will play up front with Palacio.
So, same shape, at least that is the initial observation. A free kick here for De Rossi, who wants the referee's eyes to be peeled for a repetition of any such offence.
I think the problem they had and the decision he's made is Pereira didn't really offer too much going forward down that left-hand side. He didn't defend particularly well when Gervinho was running, so it might as well get Alvarez, an attacking player, out on this left-hand side. Nagatomo will stay as the right wing-back. And you see the three centre-halves. First one Rolando, and Ranocchia in the middle.
Icardi did score 10 goals in 31 games for Sampdoria last year, and he's had a shot quickly here, and Alvarez has fired it back into the crowd, and nothing comes of it. 2 goals at the start of this season at his new club against Juventus, a notable one, and one also at Cagliari, both as substitute for Icardi.
That was a good opportunity for him. I thought he was going to take it into his space, but he tried to take it back across the defender. Well, actually, he was trying to take it back across the defender. He didn't quite control it where he wanted to. It was a good block in the end, and Alvarez had the follow-up shot.
Totti. By De Rossi. Strootman, who's part in that third goal just before half-time, ought not to be ignored. He's played it in for Florenzi, who hit that as purely as he could have dreamt, and required of Handanovic a very good stop.
Well, that certainly would have been game over. Florenzi with a brilliant effort. Let me see it again. Just watch the movement of Ranocchia to go out the danger area towards the edge of the box.
Here's a throw. Nagatomo. Marine, cleared by De Rossi, came down for Cambiasso. Totti. Dubbed out by Torresidis. Juan. Alvarez. Torresidis went to ground. Alvarez went to corner. And he would appear to have got his way.
Because that was he who appears loudest. Gets the decision there. Now it's going to be an in-swinger. There is the substitute. Icardi.
So there, Alvarez. And as far as Guarin, who fouled Totti.
Here is that effort again. Really difficult effort from him, going over his shoulder. Wraps his foot round it. He must have thought he'd scored when he made connection, but good save from Handanovic. There's the foul by Orlando. Silly one as well.
Trevino. Torresidis, Pjanic is possessed by Palacio. That is a pretty cumbersome challenge by Balzaretti. And no surprise that he becomes the third Roma defender to be booked.
Yeah, lost his composure there, Balzaretti. Started rushing in from a long way out. He didn't stop himself. Guarin just knocking it past him.
So really labouring to find some momentum if they can. Trevino has them retreating again. Teasing Nagatomo. Running up Rolando. Feeding Totti. Florenzi. Up by Rolando again. Guarin kept it in. De Rossi. Strickland. Balzaretti. Lucas, slightly uncertain header. Rolando tied it up behind him. Incidentally, given that Inter, I guess, are still obliged to try and salvage something from this game rather than just deal in crisis management and damage limitation. It just occurred to me that on Planet Football, albeit in a very distant place on Planet Football, there have been league leaders today who led 3-0 away from home and lost 4-3. In England's League 2, Chesterfield were 3-0 up at Morecambe and lost 4-3 this very day as leaders of their league. So Roma be warned. I'd be very, very surprised if there's anyone in the San Siro who's aware of that at all. I don't think they followed Chesterfield on the whole in Milan.
We'll go back to a game last year where Garcia was in charge of Lille. And they were 3-0 up. I was talking about what a brilliant coach he was, how the opposition, I think it was Sochaux, how they weren't going to get back into the game with 10 minutes to go. The game ended up 3-3. Here is that foul by Balzaretti that earns him a booking.
Just have to be a little aware now that 3 of their back 4 are on yellow cards.
And much higher up the field these days. Florenzi, often one of the 3 midfield players. Now he's in a front 3, particularly with Totti always dropping that little bit deeper. It means that him and Gervinho, particularly Gervinho, have to make forward runs.
Palacio. Alvarez. Again, De Rossi has that instinctive knowledge of where to be. Strickland. Balzaretti. Totti.
That's what made it so strange under Zeman. He didn't play in the centre of the midfield. He had to play out onto the, or come to the right-hand side. De Rossi was nowhere near as effective as a right-sided midfield player.
Cambiasso. Guarin. Nagatomo. Lorenzi's certainly back doing his defensive share this time and getting a free kick.
He's been disappointing, Nagatomo.
The big boss will be happy enough. Up until the last fortnight or so, but for Massimo Moratti, spillage of points last week against Cagliari. now almost certainly the spillage of 3 more in the first defeat of a season which in its first month and a half has promised so much. Tied out.
He's got every right to carry on. All the Roma players are saying he should have kicked the ball out, but a fair jump. Pjanic gets one in the back. There doesn't make the most of it. Trying to strike through the back of the ball. Completely miskicks it. Good leap from. So we've said that on 2 or 3 occasions. Although he does use his. He's had a little kick out at Pjanic. There's one very similar in the first half where Balzaretti got caught.
Let's just say he didn't go out of his way to stop the accident from happening. Pjanic is certainly feeling it. Roma, since they last conceded a goal, 2-0 in the derby against Lazio, 2-0 at Sampdoria, 5-0 last week against Bologna, 3-0 up now in the San Siro. Incidentally, Roma's next fixture after the international break, lick your lips, at home to Napoli. Fortnight tomorrow. Roma-Napoli, that is a game that will resonate.
We've got a Tadeo on the field. It looks like we're going to get a Tadai on the field as well. Roma's substitute getting ready to come on.
Too much pain for Pjanic. He is duly withdrawn, replaced by the 33-year-old Brazilian Rodrigo Tadei.
Being brought off because of that injury. I think he's been brought off already because it was that serious. He's up and running.
As soon as Tadei comes on, Tadei goes off. And Kovacic is on for Inter, Mateo Kovacic. Who, some of the Italian press expected to begin the game in any case. So the probable lineups I saw had him in it.
Straight swap. Going to come on in place of Tadeo in that midfield area. Chivino just making his run a little bit too early. He's been a real threat out on this right-hand side. He's got his tactics absolutely right, Garcia.
Seems to have got everything absolutely right since arriving in Rome. He said before this game, don't you worry, we'll come here to play to win. He wasn't joking, was he?
So that's where Campagnaro, if he was playing for Inter now, would have been running 10, 15 yards with the ball before playing one into the front players. Instead, Rolando stops, passes it square, and the move just peters out. Play with a back three, your wide centre halves have to be good on the ball. They have to be prepared to come out with the ball as well.
Schwan. Rolando. Kovacic. Nagatomo. Down on his back.
So as well there, Castan. Easily a fouled Palacio. Wins the throw-in.
Kovacic caught on it, but caught. There's a free kick more or less on the centre spot.
Could have been a disastrous first touch if he got caught on the ball there. Roma were going to counter-attack. He'll be right in at the heart of Inter again.
Palacio. Too comfortable for Castan. First quarter of an hour of the second half, more or less behind us. Roma had 3 quarter-of-an-hour segments to defend their 3 goals. Without real alarm, they negotiated the first of those. And it's over. Forward by Streetman. Doesn't panic, does he, Totti? Marine nibbling away.
Well, I think Totti wanted to stop the game because Cambiasso was on the floor. He wanted to carry on playing and pitch the ball off him, but it was a waste, actually, because Totti could have got his head up. Gervinho had made a great run from deep, but have been in behind. Just takes a whack here, Cambiasso. It was any intent from Totti, just shielding the ball. Guarín has a little kick.
How often must those two have played against each other?
It's fair to say one's a bit more feisty than the other.
Alvarez. Tempted to keep his feet. That was awarding a free kick anyway. Kovacic. No one for Nagatomo. Guarín. Going around the outside of Balzaretti. Alvarez. Tucked away by Torresidis.
Good play from Guarín down the right-hand side. Just turning away from the challenge of Balzaretti and getting that cross in. Alvarez decided to try and bring it down on his chest rather than head it back across the goalkeeper.
Alvarez with the corner. Bypassed a lot of them. So Totti flicks it away.
There's going to be a pattern to this second half where Inter going to have a lot of the ball. At the moment, they aren't really opening up Roma. Roma defending well all around the pitch. Roma, when they win it, are going to try and counter-attack through the number 27 in the middle of your pitch, Gervinho. He's getting ready to break forward whenever they win the ball back. Or give it to them.
Gervinho passing up that opportunity to counter. Schwan. Forward towards Cambiasso. I do get the feeling Inter are seeing plenty of the ball. Partly because Roma are quite happy for them to have it.
Exactly, Roma are defending well, they're making sure they're compact. Oh, you can't see where Inter are going to break them down. That one moment when Icardi first came on, there was a big diagonal. She got in behind the centre half and didn't quite get his touch right. Really hadn't caused Roma too many problems.
Alvarez. Kovacic. Nagatomo. Kovacic. Just could make a difference to the whole dynamic if Inter were to snatch something now. Give themselves a foothold, a belief, a bit of wind in their sail. Kovacic. Sorry. Animated discussion.
Cambiasso's just coming across. He's not sure what the tactics are at the moment. He's just coming across to where do you want me to play? What's Kovacic come on in? Is he going to play in my role? Am I going to break forward? Just clarifying the situation with his coach. Nothing wrong with that. He's the captain, of course. Comes back on with the instructions.
Guarín with the dead ball. Kovacic square of him. Nagatomo hugging a touchline. Guarín sought out Nagatomo, but it was a rather lazy and ill-thought-out pass. A waste of an opportunity. Ranocchia. Seized upon by Cambiasso, who had his ankle tapped.
Has to be careful.
Yes,
Benatia has already been booked. He overran the ball. Cambiasso knew that. Just flicks it away from him as the challenge comes in. I think too serious from Benatia.
So Guarín has a chance to redeem himself after wasting the last set-piece opportunity. Set is barely tested. Guarín rattled his post in the first half. Guarín plays it in now. Came out to Alvarez. Do no better than win a corner. 3-1 outnumbered.
Got to admire the defending there from Roma. They did dive in. Alvarez will have been looking to get a penalty.
Alvarez with the corner. Headed away by Tadej. Gervinho, Tadej. Kovacic came and took it back. Alvarez. De Rossi backpedaling. Alvarez beyond him. It's flicked up off the head of Castan and out of harm's way.
Well, De Rossi beaten for pace there by Alvarez. He's been their best player, probably, Alvarez.
Schwann's ball in. Could still come down for Cambiasso. Lifted away by Balzaretti. Orlando kept it in play for Alvarez. Neat ball in, and a clever little header from Palacio, and it's dropped in. Ranocchia chased it over the line, but the goal has not been given.
Sanchez has got a yellow card for his protest. Well, did he have both hands on the ball here? It's a clever little pass from Alvarez into Palacio, just flicks it on. I'm not sure why he's thrown his arms up in the air. He may have got away with one here, De Sanctis. Here it is, Alvarez just lifting the ball in. Palacio coming to that near post area. Well, you can't say he's really strong, can you? Let's have another look again. How long does he have hold of the ball for?
It's one for the technical examiners of the rules.
Well, I think he actually...
Does he have the ball in both hands?
He has the ball in both hands, but he actually knocks it into the striker. The striker doesn't head it out of his hands. In my view, I would give a goal. It might not be technically right, but on first viewing, I would have given a goal.
From a neutral perspective, really would have made the game. And I take your point, Stuart. Equally, if I may, I would say I can see why the referee didn't give the goal.
Absolutely right. I just think at times goalkeepers are overprotected.
And I can only assume that the booking for De Sanctis was for something he said, which was needless, really, given that the decision had gone his way.
Well, I think he was moaning at the referee. The referee gave the goal. The person that gave the decision was the referee behind the goal.
Totti. Gervinho, Florenzi pulling away, far side of the penalty area. Totti. Tadej. Stand for Balzaretti. Then Strootman and Balzaretti again, and Florenzi prepared to run at them. So denied the chance to get his shot away by a tackle from Rolando. Ranocchia tries to emerge, ran into Tadej. Gervinho. It was behind Strootman.
Well, I think Gervinho wanted Strootman just to be a wall pass for him there. Instead, Strootman was running in behind.
Palacio. Guarín. Alvarez. Overcame Castan. And we're going to have changes here. Well, they have to chase the game, and one of their legendary goal-getters of recent years is going to have a go at that. Diego Milito, still feeling his way back from long-term injury. And coming on here in place of Freddy Guarín, who's come as close as anyone to scoring on the night for Inter. Just needs a bit of stardust. And Milito just might come up with that. It's the sort of thing he does. And here is Milito. That was dreamy stuff. Tomorrow's Serie A action from BT Sport and associated channels includes Napoli against Livorno at lunchtime, late lunchtime, from 2 o'clock, and Sunday night football includes an absolute beauty from Turin. It is Juventus against Milan. That's on BT Sport 1, and on BT Sport 2, the very best of French football, the fixture, Marseille against Paris Saint-Germain. 2 premium games for you on our BT Sport channels tomorrow evening at this time. Alvarez, 20 minutes for Inter to do something sensational. Palacio. Kovacic thought about a shot, and whilst he was pondering, lost the ball to Strootman. Here's Totti. Balzaretti. Tade. Balzaretti.
Well, they've lost all shape here. Inter. They've made the substitutions. It looks as though Palacio has come to the left-hand side. Milito will partner Icardi up front. Biasso's going really where he wants to. He's trying to make forward runs. Alvarez is also drifting across the field.
Biasso caught after the ball had gone. Florenzi's going to get away with nothing more than the concession of a free kick here.
Good free kick to go away. Actually stopped into counter attack.
Alvarez. It's a corner. It's fair to say that the fans of the Nerazzurri can't be too disenchanted with the forward momentum that their team have achieved in the second half, the effort they're putting into retrieving what feels like an irretrievable situation. But still, they haven't really penetrated. Cambiasso's flick header lands harmlessly. On the one occasion where they did penetrate, it was deemed illegal. And now Gervinho on the counter. Away from Kovacic, away from Juan. Gervinho to settle it. It's a very good save, actually, from Handanovic.
What pace from Gervinho. He's up front by himself at times. Totti's going really deep. Florenzi's dropping back into midfield as well. One ball over the top. He's beat Juan to the ball. He's now trying to play it back across. I thought he was going to try and play it back across the goalkeeper. He tries to go at the near post. Had he just lifted it into the opposite corner, there's nothing Handanovic could have done about it. But good save from the goalkeeper. But what pace from this man here. Showing the form that he often shows for the Ivory Coast rather than the form that he showed at Arsenal.
Totti, Gervinho was offside.
Well, he's standing in an offside position. Poor decision actually from Totti to give him the ball back. There's the work rate again today. Really good tackle from him. He's worked hard since he's come on today.
Kovacic, Cambiasso, Alvarez. Twisting away from Balzaretti, who just will not be shaken off.
I think that Alvarez, a really good player, just dropping his shot. He had the opportunity to cross that ball a little bit earlier. Have to get the ball into the box now. They've got players in there. Milito's decent in the air. Seen Palacio at the far post. You see Icardi. Got a chance to cross it. They've got to cross it.
Lifted in by Juan. Balzaretti deals with it again. Strootman helped out by Florenzi. Back in again by Kovacic. Nicked on by Milito. Back by Balzaretti. He landed De Sanctis in a bit of a hole.
But he gets this header wrong. Balzaretti too close to Icardi. He needed a slight touch on it. All the Roma players looked round at Balzaretti. He got away with one there. I've seen Juan many times. I've never seen him outpaced like he was there by Gervinho. That's a mixture of confidence, his physical peak. Ivorian.
So I see this in hard at the back of Palacio. Change for the league leaders. With a quarter of an hour to play out. It's the end of Alessandro Florenzi, whose breakaway goal on the very cusp of half-time is what, in effect, took this beyond Inter. And he is replaced, as you saw there, by the Brazilian Marquinhos, who scored here in the 3-1 win last September.
Straight swap, he's gone out onto that left-hand side. He's not going to make too many forward runs. He's just going to stop Nagatomo breaking forward. Leave all the counter-attack into the man on this side of the field, Gervinho.
Push and run from Balzaretti. He's got a way to get back now. Totti bought him some time. Here's Kovacic. Juan for Palacio. Juan again. The try of Morgan De Sanctis.
Well, there is one of the wide centre-halves getting forward to good effect on that occasion to get crosses in. Campagnaro's fit. He's playing on the right-hand side of that back three. You'll see him time and time again, as he did for Napoli, almost be an outside right at times, linking up with the wing-back, getting crosses in, passing the ball into the front player. Actually, Roma have set up so the wide centre-halves have found it difficult to break into those sort of areas.
Palacio, clear of Torresidis, clear of Tade, clear of the crossbar.
Came infield, trying to bend it into that far corner. There's that cross. Good goalkeeping from De Sanctis.
Certainly do, over a period of 2 or 3 years now, appear, Roma, to have cast a bit of a spell on Inter. It's a remarkable sequence, given that these are clubs of similar size and ambition. There will be 8 League and Cup meetings in succession that Inter have failed to win since the Cup semi-final win at the Olympic Stadium in April 2011. Barring something extraordinary in the last 12 minutes here. Kovacic. Nagatomo.
Got to be careful.
Well, Balzaretti's going to go here. He's going to go. And Roma have ridiculously handicapped themselves. Second yellow card for Federico Balzaretti. And Roma, though 3 goals up, will finish the game a man down.
Well, you've got to question his mentality. There's no need to make that slide challenge. He's under hit. Just let Alvarez have the ball. Instead, he flies into the challenge. He's done well in 1v1 situations. He doesn't have to make that tackle. He's already been booked. His team are winning 3-0. Just delay Alvarez rather than diving in. Now it might just give Roma a problem. They need to score quickly here, Inter.
assume Marquinhos will probably drop into left-back for what remains of the game. Palacio. Juan. Furthest forward, but it's pretty isolated.
The other player that has played at left back, he's played all over the field. He's played at right wing, left back is today. A lot of different positions, played a lot of different positions. It looks like they're going to make a substitution to rectify that.
Safe to say that once more Francesco Totti has been the central figure. How often has that been the case at the San Siro through the years? Even those who wear the colours of the opposition cannot help themselves, they cannot help but to admire what he has done again today. And here is a full-time left-back. Dodo, another Brazilian, the 21-year-old, who's played just more than an hour prior to this season at Sampdoria. And gets the last 10 minutes here.
There's his first bit of action. Trying to get in a block in. It's away a corner. Ricky Alvarez took a whack there from him. Just twisted his ankle maybe.
There's a problem because injury changes have been made by Inter. So Brains at pause. Just as they've got a man advantage, they lose it. Now Gervinho is denied the chance to set off on a solo run of his own by a blast of the referee's whistle.
Nagatomo went down far too easily. That's what the foul was given for. Well, they've had a lot of the ball. They've failed to be creative, haven't they, in the final third? And Roma have had some composed defending like that from De Rossi. That's how the third goal came about, with Totti doing that on the edge of his box, rather than just kicking it anywhere.
This time it might come back from Palacio. Torresini is very tight to him. Kovacic. Firm header out by Benatia. Chased back in by Ranocchia. So shifted away by Leandro Castan. Kovacic, Palacio, secure catch. DeSantis, who's within 7 or 8 minutes now of yet another clean sheet. Kovacic. Invited Juan forward. Towards Icardi, set back for Kovacic. Santos in the midriff.
They've got enough players in the attacking areas now. That's just chipped into the front. Icardi just setting up Kovacic. It's a good strike from him, but never going to trouble the goalkeeper, De Sanctis.
Tell me this, Stuart, can Roma win the league? Are they as good as Napoli or Juventus, and can they stay the course?
From what I've seen of Juventus over the last 2 and a bit years, Juventus are the outstanding team. I think they're the best coach team, I think, in Europe. Might not have the best players, but I still think they're the best coach team. They know exactly what they're trying to do, so I would still put those out as the absolute favourites. But what I've seen from Roma has been excellent in the last couple of weeks. They've got the balance right between the attacking side of the game and the defensive side of the game. They've got players who can counter-attack, and they've got players who can defend when the ball comes in the box.
Nagatomo, Milito, Nagatomo. and they don't have Europe to worry about. Just might be a factor if Napoli and Juve have extended runs in the Champions League after Christmas. Big two-legged ties.
And they've got a coach that has experience winning leagues with Lille, Liga.
It seems really excited, really charged up by this challenge, as you would be, of course. I had to laugh at one of his pre-match comments this week when he was asked about the difference between Lille and Roma. He said, well, in Lille, the post-match press conference lasted about 10 minutes. In Rome, it lasts an hour. But it's to his credit that he's prepared to put in that hour. If it matters to you that the media are on side, as well as the supporters and the players, he's making the effort to ensure that all his relationships, wherever they are right. And at this point, he's got it right.
And he's got two excellent leaders out on the field. One being Totti in the forward areas, the composed player, the one that can be creative, and the number 16 picking the ball up now, De Rossi. When he's onside and playing well, he's a real general in that midfield area. He knows when to drop back into between his centre halves. He knows when to step forward and play out. And they look far more secure now than they ever have done in the last few years.
Dodo. Today. The shot is dragged a couple of yards wide. Today, the provider for Marquinhos. Here's Kovacic. A lost cause now for Inter. They've beaten away at the Roma door for much of the second half, but without ever really threatening to knock it off its hinges. Milito, Cambiasso, Milito. Must be a point also where this Roma defence starts to believe in itself to the point where it thinks it's impregnable. The very concept of conceding a goal becomes foreign to them.
There is that chance. Dodo going down the outside. Nagatomo's had a poor game, Nagatomo. Tadai sets up Marquinhos. Just dragging his shot wide, but we've also got to remember they've made some good money as well. Osvaldo, one of their main strikers last year, went to Southampton. Lamela has gone to Tottenham for a lot of money, and their young, what was going to be their star defender, Marquinhos, has gone to PSG. Three big players that they let go in the summer.
Spent that money very well. Imported and exported astutely. Money spent on Benatia and Strootman and Gervinho, Lajic, Destro, who of course isn't fit at the moment, but who I read isn't too far away now from a return.
Trouble for Inter has been such a hiding in terms of the score, 3-0, and they haven't been able to create anything in the second half. Will that belief that Mazzari's given them over the first few weeks of the season just disappear slightly? What Roma don't want to do is concede now. You're talking about being so sure of themselves, so confident about their defending. They don't want to give anything away now. They want to win this game 3-0.
Retain that sense of impregnability. Here is Kovacic. Looking to pierce them if possibly he can. Give Inter something to cling to. Kovacic. Nicked off the wall and behind.
There you just see De Sanctis screaming at his defenders, come on, clean sheet, let's organise, let's concentrate, don't give a goal away here.
Choose to take, Cambiasso. It's the back of Marquinhos. by Cambiasso. Milito couldn't access it. Palacio has to fetch it. Today with an uncertain attempted clearance, back in by Juan, up gets Cambiasso. There's Marquinhos, now Dodo, who was brought on to shore things up at left back, but has crossed the halfway line more than once now. Disappoints with the pass that had too many legs for even Gervinho.
It's a good run from Gervinho, though. He started to go across the defender, realised the defender had read that, and then tried to spin out the back. Garcia has had a brilliant night as the coach.
It's a 3-minute stoppage time. At the top of your picture there, you can see them streaming for the exits. The stadium was bubbling and fit to burst before kick-off at the prospect, so the Milanese supporters believed, of knocking the early leaders off their perch has now been deflated. The Roman invaders have pillaged Milan and go home with the 3 points that they most wanted to plunder. In by Juan. And of course it's the... Oh, that's unnecessary from Icardi. It's the chief centurion who's done most of the business, Totti. And Sarri will have to be phlegmatic about it. Shrug it off. Perhaps take a day or two to ponder it, given the international break that now follows. And get himself ready for a trip to Torino 2 weeks tomorrow.
I think he'd be disappointed with his wing-backs. If you are going to play with a back three and your wing-backs are so vital to the way you play, and Nagatomo hasn't done well enough. Pereira took off at half-time because he didn't influence the game. He gave a penalty away. Gervinho got the better of him down this near side. Also meant that Torresidis could double up against him at times. So that's an area he'll certainly look at. They can improve their performances. Problem you can see for Roma, if Gervinho gets injured, have they got pace to play on the counter-attack? At the moment they have, and they've done it brilliantly over the last few weeks.
Juan. Kovacic. Ranocchia. Nagatomo. Ranocchia. Milito. Nagatomo. Palacio. This is Roman paradise. Seventh heaven for Rudy Garcia and his new charges. Played 7, won 7. No one gets near them at the moment. Outstanding again, particularly in the first half, and see how together they are. Totti again, and Florenzi on the cusp of half-time. The second half, an object lesson in efficiency. Roma are good, very good, and still on this unstoppable roll. The final score in the San Siro tonight, Inter 0, Roma 3.
Peter Stewart, thank you both very much indeed, and what a job